Would you consider, and would other people that have been through this consider being part of this short campaign to help Kamala Harris or whomever beat Donald Trump?
Well, Joe, I think all of us on this panel probably spent more time on the phone in the last few days than we have in a long time. So what's interesting to me is I talk to people, former colleagues of mine, even people outside of politics who might be in the private sector. There's a lot of energy and interest in doing whatever's required. So I think that right now reports are that, the existing campaign leadership will stay in place, which is great. I think all of us who want to see Kamala Harris elected President, Donald Trump not return to the White House will do whatever we need to, whether that's giving advice we can give or other efforts.
That was President Obama's 2008 campaign manager and White House senior advisor David Plouffe on our show the morning after President Biden dropped out of the 2024 race. And now David has indeed joined the Harris-Walz campaign as a senior advisor. Interesting.
So your take on the pick on last night and what you have to do over the next 91 days to win.
Well, Joe, I think it was a great event in Philadelphia last night. I think a great inspired pick by Kamala Harris. I think you saw in their speeches, I think in their background, their biography, these are two people that can speak to the middle class, can do it with joy and optimism, that we can seize opportunities and tackle challenges, and can campaign everywhere that they need to campaign, which is important. They'll be all over the battleground states this week making their case. By the way, interestingly enough, they'll be crisscrossing the country while Donald Trump is in Mar-a-Lago stewing, not really doing anything. I think he might go to Montana, not a battleground state, and wishing he was running against Joe Biden. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he doesn't have the stamina for a presidential campaign anymore. Maybe his campaign believes he hurts them when he goes out like he did in Georgia a few days ago. But I think it's a great pick. Listen, Tim Walz, I think, is going to be a great messenger for Kamala Harris, what she wants to do as president, both in terms of his biography, which you guys have talked about a lot this morning, but also his accomplishments. These are mainstream popular accomplishments, cutting taxes, especially aimed at small businesses and working families, paid leave, super popular proposal, the first governor to enshrine in law after Roe v. Wade was overturned, the right to abortion in Minnesota. So I think I'm excited about this ticket. And having run a presidential campaign before, the VP pick, people are going to vote on Harris and Trump. Let's not mistake that. But a VP can go to many places, can almost double your coverage. I think Tim Walz is going to be super effective in places like Western Pennsylvania, Central Pennsylvania, Western Wisconsin, rural Georgia, the northern part of Nevada, places where he can speak about his values, his biography, and what he accomplished. And of course, if J.D. Vance decides to debate, Donald Trump right now is in the mode of ducking debates. I look forward to that debate. I mean, Tim Walz is normal, mainstream, and happy. And J.D. Vance is weird, extreme, and angry. And I really do think, listen, policy matters a great amount. What you're going to do for the country from an issue standpoint matters a great amount. But also that visual presentation, I think, of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, as they love America. They love people. They know our better days are ahead and we can tackle these challenges. And these other two folks in Trump and Vance are the angriest ticket in American political history.